Welcome to the first ever court-appointed neutrals ethics symposium. We've got a registration today of over 300 folks that are participating either in person or virtually. I'm Bill Johnston, a partner with Young Conaway, Stargatt and Taylor in Wilmington, Delaware. It's been my privilege for almost the last 10 years, hard to believe, Meryl, but to work with Meryl, Hirsch, and others on what we will ultimately today explore as the ethics that apply or might apply to court-appointed neutrals. So to what for years has been called special masters, still in the federal courts, special masters, now more often special magistrates and others serving in that role. Today, that decade of collaboration culminates in a groundbreaking symposium hosted by New York Law School. And fittingly, in this part of Tribeca, in which the Ghostbusters headquarters is located, we are here to bust what may be some misconceptions about court-appointed neutrals. So, what is a court-appointed neutral? What are the ethics that apply or may apply to a court-appointed neutral? What are some tips for members of the judiciary and experienced court-appointed neutrals to maximize the helpfulness of court-appointed neutrals to the courts, litigants, and counsel? What are the opportunities for law students and recent graduates who have been taught ADR in law school, something that certainly wasn't happening when I was in law school in the dark ages? I commend to you the excellent materials that are attached to this morning's email from Rose White, and thanks so much to Rose for all she has done to help organize this symposium. She is wonderful as always. And we're here today for a treat with today's lunchtime keynote address by Justice Tanya Kennedy. The title of the address, Neutral by Title, Professional by Practice, Ethics as Our Guiding Compass. Please also stay around for the reception from 5 to 6. And last, we look forward to publication by the law school's law review of articles that are going to result from this symposium. Special thanks to law review faculty advisor, Professor Michelle Zerler. With thanks to the law school and its ADR skills program led by Professor Peter Phillips, thanks to all sponsors and co-sponsors, to all speakers, and to each of you for attending either in person or remotely. I'm now going to invite Dean Crowell and others to join me in this welcome. Dean?
Thanks so much, Bill. I appreciate that. And good morning, everyone. I'm Anthony Crowell, Dean and President here at New York Law School. And I am likewise very excited to welcome you to our Court-Appointed Neutrals Ethics Symposium. This is the first ever all-day program held to address the ethics rules that apply to court-appointed neutrals, otherwise known as special masters or referees, as Bill said. We're able to hold this program and convene this outstanding roster of presenters thanks to Professor Peter Phillips, who is an invaluable contributor and leader to our law school and our profession. Thank you, Professor Phillips. Appreciate everything you do. Professor Phillips does an outstanding job with our program. He's created our ADR skills program, which is one of the most important programs concerning ADR nationally, and he builds leaders. Our students are not only well positioned as a result of his efforts and what the substance of our program offers, but they go out and they lead and they do great things as a result of the vision that Professor Phillips has brought to the program. I also want to recognize Professor Chris Franklin, who's also a key leader in our program, and she supervises our highly successful dispute resolution team. Today's program is critical because courts are increasingly relying on special masters for a variety of procedural and substantive tasks. But the title is outdated and the responsibilities are uncertain. Professional ethical guidelines can be conflicting as they perform roles that are not client advocates, not judicial decision makers, and not administrative process enforcers. This is important and urgent work. The American Bar Association, the New York State Judicial Institute, and the Academy of Court-Appointed Neutrals are to be commended for calling the question and for convening this important group of stakeholders. We note also the support and involvement of the New York State Bar Association, the American Arbitration Association, the CPR Institute, the Westchester County Bar Association, and other supporters. And I also know that so much is owed to the work of Bill Johnston from Young Conaway and Merrill Hirsch from the Academy of Court-Appointed Neutrals, as they are two tireless advocates who have displayed leadership, persistence, and vision. So NYOS is certainly delighted to host this important gathering. We're pleased that our law review will publish today's proceedings, and we hope that this collaboration is tremendously fruitful and brings us closer to the goal of clear and effective professional ethical standards for court-appointed neutrals now and in the future. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dean. We'll now have a recorded greeting from Deborah Greenspan, who is president of ACAN, the Academy of Court-Appointed Neutrals.
Good morning. Welcome to this unique, groundbreaking program on ethics and court-appointed neutrals. This is a terrific program with a stellar group of presenters. Thanks in particular to Merrill Hirsch and Bill Johnston, along with the New York Law School, and all the sponsors and panelists for putting this together. My name is Deborah Greenspan. I am currently the president of the Academy of Court-Appointed Neutrals, and I'm thrilled to welcome you all today. So why is this program important? Court-appointed neutrals can provide a myriad of services to advance the administration of justice. There are rules and statutes in many jurisdictions that outline in some manner the types of ways in which a court-appointed neutral can provide services. But at the same time, a list of tasks, while helpful, does not define the profession. The ethics are what defines the profession. And in order to fully utilize court-appointed neutrals and ensure that justice is served, it's important to discuss the ethical framework to help us all understand what should be expected from a court-appointed neutral. These issues are not simple, and robust discussion and programs like this are what we need to enable us to address them. Thanks again, and enjoy the program.
Many thanks to Debbie Greenspan for her greeting. We'll now hear from Elizabeth Liz Hill, who is chair of the American Bar Association's section of dispute resolution.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Liz Hill, chair of the American Bar Association's section of dispute resolution. On behalf of the section, I'm delighted to add our welcome to this first ever court-appointed neutral ethics symposium. Today brings together judges, lawyers, neutrals, and ethicists to focus on a critical issue: developing fair and effective principles of ethics for court-appointed neutrals. This comes at a time when courts across the country are relying on these roles more than ever. It's an honor to have Justice Tanya R. Kennedy as our keynote speaker, and we are grateful to the many organizers and partners who have made this gathering possible. If you're not yet familiar with the American Bar Association section of dispute resolution, I invite you to connect with us. We're a community committed to advancing the field and supporting conversations like the one we're beginning today. Welcome, and thank you for being here.
Thanks to Liz for her greeting. Unfortunately, we have a scheduling conflict today with the Mediation Institute, Advanced Mediation Institute, that the section is presenting. And so we're missing her in person, but we appreciate the time she took to record the greeting. So thanks again, Liz, and best for the Institute. And finally, Judge James Lockemy is chair of the American Bar Association's Judicial Division, and we have his recorded greeting.
Good morning. I'm James E. Lockemy, Chief Judge Retired of the South Carolina Court of Appeals, and I proudly serve as the chair of the Judicial Division of the American Bar Association, a division that is active, engaging, and a shining star in the ABA. If you are or have been a judge, staff attorney within the judicial arena, or an attorney that just enjoys keeping up with all things judicial, we encourage you to join us and participate in our many activities. Go to the ABA website or ask any of the leaders here, and you'll be able to join our dynamic organization. Welcome to this amazing symposium. AI is the talk of the legal world these days. We all know that. But the world of neutrals and the ADR is becoming the action arena throughout legal circles across the country. This area changes every day. The focus of this symposium is to remind practitioners, judges, active or retired, and professors that we need to make sure ethical considerations keep up and are where they should be at the forefront of growth in the ADR and the role of the neutral specifically as it continues to grow at an amazing pace. You have an outstanding line of panelists for the duration of the symposium. Bill Johnston, Professor Peter Phillips, Merle Hirsch, and many others have done an outstanding job putting this timely, informative, and altogether exceptional program together. We at the Judicial Division and others are very proud to join so many legal groups and leaders as a co-sponsor of this symposium. Enjoy this learning and networking event. This be one that you will be glad and so thankful that you attended. Good day.
Many thanks to Judge Lockemy for his greetings. Judge Lockemy, you may know, has been such a long-time contributor to the American Bar Association, longtime member of the ABA Board of Governors. And it is the Judicial Division under whose umbrella the Ethics Subcommittee has operated for the last 10 years. And then we've tried to follow in some small way the lead of Merle Hirsch, who has chaired what was first known as the Special Masters Committee of the Lawyers Conference of the Division, and now the Court-Appointed Neutrals Committee. When I said finally, I meant finally in terms of videos, because we have another live welcomer, and that's our friend Leslie Burkhoff, who will be a speaker today. I can attest personally that she is a mediator and arbitrator extraordinaire. She's a partner with Morat Hock and Hamroff, and she is here to bring you greetings on behalf of the New York State Bar Association. Leslie?
Thank you, Bill. It's always so kind. Good morning, everybody, those in person and those in the ether, so to speak. It's my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the New York State Bar Association. I'm speaking on behalf of two specific sections there, both the dispute resolution section and the commercial and federal litigation section. As you'll hear when we start our first panel, of which I'm glad to partake, the role of a court-appointed neutral spans a gamut of different topics, which is why both of those sections are ripe to be co-sponsors of this. It's not just your traditional mediators, but court-appointed neutrals arise in a variety of contexts. I won't spoil our panel by giving it away, but it will make a lot of sense to you. And in this ever-litigious society, as people pivot to think about ways to streamline litigation, to be efficient in the costs that they're spending, and as courts look to help the parties facilitate this, the different types of neutrals that the courts look to appoint really are varied based upon the needs of the parties and play a real integral role in our society today and our litigation system, whether it's federal or state court or the like. So thank you on behalf of the section, those two sections, I should say, in the New York State Bar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leslie. Jeff Zaino of the American Arbitration Association sends his regrets. He had hoped to be here. AAA is a very important financial supporter of what we're doing today. He ran into a last-minute conflict, though, and so we do thank the AAA for its sponsorship, and I want to also expressly call out the other co-sponsors, the ABA Judicial Division, the New York State Judicial Institute, ACAN, the Academy of Court-Appointed Neutrals, the American Bar Association Center for Professional Responsibility, the American Bar Association Section of Dispute Resolution, the International Institute for Conflict Prevention and Resolution, otherwise known as CPR, the New York State Bar Association, with the Westchester County Bar Association, Anonymous, and my firm, Young Conaway, Stargatt and Taylor. So let me turn, if I may, to a little bit of housekeeping, the wonderful CLE side of life. For New York barred attorneys, my understanding it is necessary for you folks to sign in and sign out today. And with regard to those who are participating remotely, I will be offering up some codes during the different segments in the program. So apology in advance to presenters if I'm interrupting something mid-sentence or mid-word or mid-syllable. But I'm supposed to be sort of the voice of conscience providing these codes to folks who are participating remotely. And then again, Rose White had sent around the email this morning with very important information, including information that has the remote participants at the end of the day filling out a form with the codes. So bear with me, please, everyone, with these codes. I've tried to be as creative as I can be, but we'll see. And then finally, as Rose mentioned in her email, with regard to evaluation forms, the law school takes very seriously presentations of programs like this one, wants to do the very best that it can, and from my perspective, always does do an amazing job. But it's very helpful to get input from folks who are either here in person or participating remotely with the evaluation forms. And if you're not from New York, then what you need to know is you will be automatically receiving a certificate of attendance, which at least for me from Delaware has always sufficed to get CLE credit for jurisdiction other than New York. So we come to the close of the welcome. I'm going to invite the panelists up in just a moment. But let me give those who are participating remotely the first code word of the day, and that code word is Ghostbusters. So with that, may I invite the panel up, and again, welcome to all.